Meet me halfway across the sky. Hey folks, here I am again. Right now we're going to continue our study of the Pretérito, but we're going to be going into chapter 9. Okay? Now listen closely. Sometimes there are words that go through changes that we can't explain. Well, maybe we could explain them, but maybe it just take too long to do so. So listen carefully. Just accept what I'm getting ready to show you. Just accept it. Don't be trying to go change something you can't be changing. Leave it alone. Alright? So in chapter 9, on page 274, we're given a particular list of some verbs in Spanish. I think altogether it's between like 6 to 8 verbs. And these verbs kind of follow their own patterns. Their endings are kind of like a blend of AR, ER, and IR verb endings in the preterite, but just all blended all together. The neat thing is that this particular group or range of verbs will all use those same endings, but they're also going to go through some other crazy changes in their stem. Or remember, when you get rid of the ending, the AR, ER, IR, what's left is what we call the stem or the root. Well, these verbs are going to go through some crazy changes. Again, memory will be the key. I promise though that as you use these verbs over and over, it's going to seem less like a chore, and it's just going to seem more like second nature. Okay? So, excuse me for turning to the side from the camera, but I'm just going to be reading out real quickly these verbs. I want to make sure that you recognize all of them. And again, they're on pages 274 and 275. So here we are. The verbs are estar, remember, to be; poder, to be able to; poner, to put; querer, to want; saber, to know, remember, to know a fact; tener, to have; venir, to come; decir, to say; and traer, to bring. So this is the range of verbs, or a list of the verbs that we typically refer to as verbs just with radical changes, just crazy irregular changes in their stems. So let me give you an example of one. We'll take the verb tener, because that's one we're most frequently heard to say. Okay, so we've got the verb tener. Okay, well, what's going to happen with this verb, for example, is that it's going to take a completely new root. And so that new root is going to be tuv. Tuv. Well, to that root, we're going to add endings just like we normally would, but the thing of it is, with those particular verbs on those pages, and also just what I said a little earlier ago, they're going to take a unique set of endings. Not like the not like the regular endings that we've learned for our AR, ER, and IR verbs. It's almost kind of like a hodgepodge of all of them together. All of this, again, we owe it just to language change through the centuries. So anyway, we've got tener, and the root will be tuv, T-U-V. So, watch this. Yo tuve un accidente. Yo tuve un accidente. I had an accident. Okay? If I'm asking you if you had an accident, I could say, tú tuviste un accidente? Did you have an accident? Tú tuviste, you had. Tú tuviste. All right. Watch this next one. Rosa tuvo un accidente. Rosa had an accident. We've got tuve, tuviste, tuvo. All right. And then we've got nosotros. Okay. tuv, you guessed it, T-U-V, but the ending now is I-M-O-S. Nosotros tuvimos un accidente. We had an accident. Tuvimos, okay? And then finally, ellos. Ellos tuvieron, okay, un accidente. Ellos tuvieron un accidente. So they had an accident. All right? So guys, go through here again. The verb tener, to have. Yo tuve, tú tuviste, él tuvo, nosotros tuvimos, ellos tuvieron. Okay? Tuve, tuviste, tuvo, tuvimos, tuvieron. So that's how we deal with tener. Okay? So let's take another verb from that list and we'll see how we can deal with it. How about the verb venir, to come? All right? Oops. Venir. V-E-N-I-R. Well, if I tell you that venir changes its stem to vin, okay? And then we're going to use the same endings for venir as we did for tener, because all of these verbs, with the exception of two, are going to pretty much follow the same pattern with their endings. Yeah? So, yo vine, tú viniste, él vino, nosotros vinimos, and ellos vinieron. Vinieron. You see, we're doing the same thing as we did with tener. We're just using a new verb, and the verb venir is changing its stem. So, yo vine, tú viniste, él vino, nosotros vinimos, ellos vinieron. Yo vine a CVCC hoy a las 10 de la mañana. I came to CVCC today at 10 in the morning. ¿A qué hora viniste tú? What time did you come? Oh, José no vino a clase. Luisa no vino a clase. Ellos no vinieron a clase. Again, we're using these irregularities, okay? So I don't know if you've picked up on this or not, but these irregular endings for these verbs in chapter 9, at least these first, I believe there are 8 of them. Again, they're going to be iste, o, imos, and ieron. Okay? So for those verbs that I've just mentioned, estar, querer, poder, what's another one? Querer. They're all going to take those endings, okay? The only thing that's going to be slightly different is the root that these verbs will change for each one of them. So you saw where tener takes tuv, okay? Estar will change its root to estuv. So if you look at tener and estar, basically they're the same forms. You just add an es to tener. Poder will change to pud, P-U-D. Poner will change to pus, P-U-S. And querer will change to quis, Q-U-I-S. Saber will change to sup, S-U-P. And venir will change to vin, V-I-N. Decir will change to dig, D-I-J. And traer will change to traj, T-R-A-J. Okay? And to finalize this video, let me just mention something to you that I alluded to a little earlier. All of these verbs, all of those 8, let me just count because I'm driving myself crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 verbs, I believe. All of those verbs are going to share those very same endings. The only thing you have to keep in mind is that two verbs, decir and traer, okay? Decir and traer, because they have a J in their new root, okay? You've got traer and you've got decir, and this traer is going to go to tra, and this decir is going to go to di, okay? So we use the same endings as we did with all those other ones. Yo traje, yo dije. Tú trajiste, tú dijiste. Él trajo, él dijo. Nosotros trajimos, nosotros dijimos. But here at this last one, instead of saying I-E-R-O-N, we're just going to say E-R-O-N for each of those, okay? So those are the only two that just have a slight difference. And the reason is that in Spanish, a J-I, in a lot of situations, you may not see it exactly that way. It may just simplify to a J-E. So we've got trajeron, they brought, and dijeron, they said. And that is what yo dije. That's what I said. Ciao.